I do have a microphone, but I do not know how to work it. So I'm using this alcohol bottle. I hope that's okay. I have dissociative identity disorder, and there are multiple people up here, and I'm here to talk about it. I know it's a really weird thing to grasp if you've never had any experience with it, met anybody with it, and all you've seen are like references such as like Fight Club, Perfect Blue, fucking Split. Oh god, Split. Media does not paint a really nice picture. It is hard to talk about it technically because I usually explain things using the word I. But in this case, when, I'm going to be talking about years way, way back, I'm going to refer to I as we. Many different parts have experienced different parts of this life, and that's just easiest for everyone instead of always interjecting names and whatnot. This is a very complex disorder. There's so many bits and pieces to it it's gonna take so long to explain it. I will explain it as best as I can. Dissociative identity disorder develops when a kid undergoes constant stressful situations, most oftentimes described as traumatic situations. So when you're a kid, you're still developing your consciousness and your awareness of the world, right? Like you're on the way to being self-aware. Your consciousness looks like this, and when it's fully formed, it looks like this, right? But when you're a kid going through constant stressful situations, constant trauma, it creates a divide in the development of your consciousness. So instead of forming like this, you form like this. The reason why you form like this is because when the bad things are happening, these two parts, they will be in the front, which is a term used in the disorder where, when you're in front, you're controlling the body, you are actively aware of your surroundings, and you're actively aware of what's happening, and you actively feel what the body feels. So these two parts would be in the front, experiencing all the bad things, while these three parts are tucked away safely, and they have no idea what's going on most of the time. And the reason why the brain does this is so that when the bad things are not happening, these three parts can come out and develop normally, act like everything's a-okay. Because dissociative identity disorder is a disorder born out of the need to survive. And usually kids in these bad situations, they oftentimes cannot express any negative emotion. They often can't tell anyone what's going on. They basically have to act like everything is okay and that nothing wrong is happening. So that's why these three parts are kept away from these two parts. Another reason why we can be very different is because the parts that are out when the bad things happen often take the form of what the three parts, or like the protected parts, think that they need to protect them. That's the whole shebang. We were very distressed all the time. We were very depressed, very anxious, and all this stuff. The first time we really realized it was when we were 14 and we were coming out of a very bad situation. We truly felt, that kind of like divide between parts. And it was freaking us the fuck out. Like you feel like you have so many voices in your head, and they're all saying different things, and they're all feeling different things, like to the point where all the emotions that are going on and they're clashing, and your body just doesn't know how to react to it except to have a fucking like meltdown because of this clusterfuck of all the things you're feeling. But as every teenager knows, it's just a phase. And we really hoped that it was. Because whatever it was we were going through, it fucking sucked, dude. It like fucking sucked. And since we were coming out of a bad situation, it did get better for a while. You know, we stopped dissociating as much. Things seemed to peter out. We were in the same school from kindergarten all the way to high school. So we knew the same people. We knew all the teachers. Basically, everything was set in stone. When we stabilized, that was the life that we were used to. First year uni was a ride. It was dissociative all day, every day, baby. Like, that was that. We joined Danso, and if you've been to a local Hong Kong university, you know that Danso is Hocher, or Hocher. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's just takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and it's very stressful. And not only that, but we wanted to Sernjong, which is like join the committee for the following year. And that just means extra work on top of the things that you're already doing as a Danso member. We were not sleeping, we were not eating proper meals, we were failing classes, and we were also in our very first romantic relationship at this time, so just so much stuff was going on. Honestly, I personally, like Dan, I barely remember any of it. I personally was not there, so I don't remember specifics. I barely remember. I don't remember. So our dissociation was at an all-time high, and it got to the point where during the summer we would hear thoughts that would contradict what the body does and what the body would say. It got to the point where the body would go numb. We would be forgetting things left, right, front, and center. The moment that kind of decided everything for us was when one time when we were out walking about and we dropped something on the road, like the main road where the cars would come and go. And the thoughts were like, okay, don't go pick that up. Don't pick up that $5 coin that you just dropped because there is a bus coming. And if you pick that up, you will get hit. That is not good. But the body was like, okay, you know what? Every dollar counts, man. Like, I can just go right in, get it, and then skedaddle. Yeah, easy peas. And so we go and pick it up. Or the body goes and picks it up. It was like, the bus is like this close. It was actually really close. Like, it was terrifying. And, you know, that was the moment where we were like, okay, we can't keep going like this. Told our parents, hey, you know, when we were 14, I said those things and I was experiencing those things. Well, those things are back again. We're really scared that we would get really hurt if, you know, we don't do anything. We kind of searched our symptoms to see what was up, and that was the first time we came across the term dissociation. You know, dissociation in general is a normal thing. Everybody experiences dissociation. Like when you feel like time is moving way too slow, or when time, you know, just flies by, that's a kind of dissociation. So dissociation is normal in humans. It's only when it is life-altering or it's really difficult to do simple things or remember things and all this stuff. It's only on the extreme end that it is considered a disorder. And there are many dissociative disorders, all of the dissociative stuff in one thing. That was DID. And at the time, you know, we had no clue about each other. We never really thought that there were different people. So we were like, there's no way that it's actually that bad. It can't be that bad. We were diagnosed in 2018, and since then, we have been working on it. Yeah. Now, us, as a system, we currently are a system of 9. You know, you can still call us Karina, we have gotten so used to it, it's totally fine. But I hope that because of this video, each of us can be more ourselves and kind of be advocates for our disorder, because there are some terrible, terrible things that I've seen and heard and read about, the people that antagonize people that are part of our community and the people that have this disorder and that are open about it. The more we're open about it, the less stigmatized it'll be and the less negativity it'll attract. I guess the biggest takeaway here is that we're not the monsters you see in these fucking movies. We're not that at all. If you do have dissociative identity disorder, or you think you have dissociative identity disorder, I have joined this wonderful community over here a couple years ago. It has been a safe place for me for the longest time. Everybody is always so lovely, and everybody is always so helpful. You can just go on there, be yourselves, and that is it. Goodbye. I hear someone telling me to be a bit more presentable. This is presentable. You want little tufts coming out? There's your little tuft. Happy?